What's going on, everybody? As you can see, I'm not in the driver's seat. She is.
Hi.
And she is my daughter. She's going into the 7th grade.
Yes.
I'm getting old. That's where all this gray hair is coming from.
Whatever.
It's her fault.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's age.
Yes, it is age. But today we're going to be showing her how to use the 3D printer because she's in engineering and robotics. So their class is going to be getting one, and I figured let's give her a little bit of a head start and show her how to use it. So what are we going to be printing today?
A guillotine.
A guillotine.
A guillotine.
Yes, 7th grade guillotine project. No, really, their project is on the French Revolution. So a guillotine.
A guillotine.
For 7th grade.
For 7th grade.
All right, let's get into this project. Now, the easiest way to get into 3D printing is to find a file instead of trying to design one and work through all the different complications. And in this case, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go find a guillotine, and we're going to be using MakerWorld. Now, MakerWorld is not the only site you can use. There's Thingiverse, Things. There's several. Just make sure it's from a reputable site. And there are some that you can purchase, but you can find a lot for free out there. So let's dive into MakerWorld and see if we can find guillotine. So let's go up to the search and let's type in guillotine. And yes, I knew how to say that without her correcting me. I didn't say guillotine. Guillotine.
I probably.
We got G-U. There we go.
There we go. Yay!
All right. So we have a bunch of different options here. Which one do you like? That one. Okay, now one of the things we can do, we can see it has 5 stars and 3 ratings, has about 1.5 hours to print and on one plate. So let's scroll down and see if we're going to need any, if it says we're going to need any special materials like screws, or we'll probably need a string. We can't print string. Let's scroll down some more. Easy print, small, fits the size of a Lego head. we can chop off Lego heads.
Yay!
Yay. All right, let's scroll up. All right. Now, if you see there, it says print profile. Select the P1S because that is the machine we have. Now, if you go to we could open it in Bambu Studio, but let's hit that down arrow over to the right. And you have open in Bambu Studio, download 3MF, or download the STL/CAD file. So opening it in Bambu Studios will just automatically open it into the next program we're going to be using. Or you can just download the 3MF file, which is Bambu Studio file format. Or you can download the STL file, which is the 3D model itself. I would say let's go with download the 3MF. And since we're not in my account, you'll need to prove that you are human. Yay, you're human. All right. Now we want to go and open that file. So to open up Bambu Studio, so upper right hand corner right there. Yeah, click there. Now you can hit the folder. And of course, it wants to open it on the other screen. And then drag it over here. There we go.
Yay!
And maximize it. So there we go.
Ooh.
Now, yes, that looks like it's going to take an hour and a half to print. Let's dive into Bambu Studio. As you've already discovered, what are you holding down? The left button to...
right.
Was it the right?
Do not know. My left from my... It's the left.
Left button to kind of zoom around. Now, if you hit the scroll, zoom in and out with the scroll wheel. Don't make everyone seasick.
Sorry.
Now, let's say you were in Bambu Studio, you already had it downloaded, and you wanted to import this. If you went up to File, Let's show everyone how you could open this. Go up to File.
Where? Okay.
Right, there we go. Click.
Yeah.
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 Go down to Import.
Whoop-de-doo.
That's Export.
That is the wrong button right there.
And then you would click on that top one. But again, we've already have this imported. So let's click off to the side there. Up here in the upper left-hand corner where it says Bambu Lab A1 0. Yeah, click there. This is where we want to pick which printer we're using. Again, we have the P1S, so let's switch it over. All right. Next is the plate type. We are using the textured PEI plate. Why don't you go ahead and click? You can see there's other plates. So if we're using another plate, we would switch to the type of plate we're using. But we're not. So we can click off there.
Whoop-de-doo.
Next, we'll see is the filament. Right under here.
Right there.
All right. So we could manually add more filaments. That's what the plus means. So why don't you hit it? And it'll just randomly put another filament there.
Huh.
Okay. Or you could hit minus and it removes the last filament you added.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And or you can go to the next button, click that, synchronize, and click sync. What that did was it connected to our printer. And as you can see, we actually have 4 filaments in there, but it only pulled in 3. That's because the 4th filament is not a Bambu filament. Bambu filaments, you use RDFI tags to read what they are. So if it's using a matte, it knows to use the matte settings. If it's using a silk, it knows to use the silk settings or PTEG. We're using PLA for this. We're just going to keep it simple, nothing complicated here. And it went ahead and filled it with the first color. If we wanted to use the, I believe that's blue-green silk, I forget who makes it, we could add that. But what color do we want to make the guillotine? That is gold. But we also have red, silver, clear, yellow, white. I believe let's give her some time to decide what color she wants to make it.
Sec-
What is that?
I cannot read that.
You want me to open up the orange?
That is orange. That looks pink.
You sure you want to make it orange?
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
All right. In box, out of box. All right. Now we need an empty spool to put this in. You want to grab that top one right there? That's fine. No, we'll leave that on. Now, the Bambu has refillable spools, so we can just take this off. There's not a lot right here. That's for a different video. And what we're going to do here is we're going to pop that. Open that. And we have our orange PLA. So I know the instinct is, oh, you want to cut it off and everything. But first thing when we're replacing filament, we want to find that notch. Okay. Well, here, let's show them. There's the notch. And now we want to find the half of the filament spool that has that notch. All right. Now I want you to line it up. Make sure it needs to go in there, sits in there correctly. May have to twist it a little back and forth to
moving anymore.
let's see. There. So it's set in place. Now we put that on top. You're supposed to be doing this.
Oh, I did it.
Now click it, make sure it's locked in place. There you go. You heard it snap like that.
Yeah.
All right. Now what we need to do is cut off these. But don't just start cutting. What we want to find now is where it ends, and that will be the last one we cut off.
Got it.
So start cutting off. Okay,
That's
before
dope.
you cut that last one, I like to make sure my finger's on, holding it down. Okay, but the other thing I would do is I would pull these out.
Oh, you can.
Yep, just keep pulling. You got to pull a little bit hard. There you go. Just litter on my floor. This isn't your room.
Well, forget it.
We'll get it later.
My gosh.
It normally isn't this hard, but what I forgot to tell her was go the other way. You can see here, she was trying to pull it through there, so that's why. If she had gone the other way, there was nothing stopping it. Yes, I know that would have been helpful information to start with, but
Yeah.
here, I'll hold that. Just don't cut me. Okay, and let's not pull through the side that has that double where it's taped up. So, no, see that doesn't have it? Yeah, there you go.
I can't. Here, you do that one.
Okay, I say it's easier. Oh man,
Yeah.
that really is in there differently. Okay.
Yay! We did
All
it.
right. Now, since we want to use this filament, one of the other things we want to do, it is bent like that. So I want you to take this and kind of cut it at an angle. That just helps it grab on. Yep. It's going to be easier to run the filament through. Let's go ahead and remove this one. So first thing first, we want to unlock those. And now what you want to do is push this forward. And if you want, I'll hold that while you take this one out. Push that gray tab forward and pull the filament out. All right, and don't just let it loose.
Wait.
So we're gonna roll it back, and then we'll just run it through
The side.
the side like that. Okay, here I'll switch. Now the important thing here, we want it to come down and into that hole. We don't, we don't want it coming up, the cord coming up like that. This is the way it needs to go in. Okay,
Oh, do I do that?
yes, push it forward, run it in.
Wait a minute.
All right. Now we want to close the lid and redo the latch.
Close it all the way out.
Yeah. All right. Now let's go back to the computer and color our guillotine. And we're back.
Yay!
We got the orange loaded up. Let's go ahead and resync our AMS. Now that's what that top part is called, the AMS. All right, that's our automatic spool changer or color changer. So where do we sync our AMS again?
Right here.
Yeah, click there.
Oh, I
And see,
should
look,
resync. Oh,
it resynced our filaments there, and it pulled in the orange. See, it even picked the right color for everything. Now we want to color our guillotine orange.
That's not.
But that is not what.
Cancel.
So we can change these to any color we want. Because let's say we're using a filament that isn't Bambu and doesn't have one of those RDFI tags, and we can change it to be the color we want, but it knows what color it is, so it pulls it in there. All right. So in process, go over to objects.
Objects right here.
Yeah. Now you see there are 3 parts to this design. So let's zoom in on the design real quick. And the easy way to color this is to come over here and where it says 1, click there. Now click it again. Let's have a little drop down. There we go. Change it to orange. Click on the next one. That's the easy way to color. Let's say we wanted to do a multicolor print, which we're not. We don't have that long. Click on one of the objects over in the field.
Okay.
Yeah, just click on one of the objects. Now, see up in the upper right-hand corner, closer to the upper right-hand corner where it has the paint bucket over to the left.
Ah.
Right there you go. Click on that.
Oh.
So you can select what part you want. Now you have where it says tool type. That is just like a pen. So you could draw on it and make it any color you want it. I prefer the fill bucket. So click on the fill bucket. Now come over to your part. See, click there. Now zoom, kind of scroll around and you can paint it.
Ooh.
So we're going to leave it all one color, but instead of having to go through and re-click all that, go erase all painting. Go down.
Ah.
Erase all painting. Now everything is back to orange. Now if we hit escape, we're back to the prepare window. So there is a lot more we could go into there, but that's just kind of the quick overview of how you can color things. So if we go back and let's talk about this global and objects. Global, when we make any of the, you'll see here under there says quality, strength, speed, support, others. Any change we make while we have global selected, for every piece on that plate, it'll apply to everything on that plate. Or globally across all the different parts we have, okay? If we're in objects, we can set different parameters to different objects. But let's keep it simple.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll stay on
Do
global.
the smart thing and keep it simple.
Yes. So you can see next we have a drop down where it says 0.12. That's the layer height. That's how small or big of a layer we're going to do. So let's click on that drop down. And as you can see, we have some users and some systems. Let's just keep it system. Let's keep it simple. We'll go to system presets and go to standard 0.20. Yep. Click on that. That is basic standards for this nozzle. There are a few things I like to do. So let's scroll down in quality. Keep going. So let's talk about ironing real quick. Ironing is the top surface and it goes of a print. If that's on, it's going to increase your print time by a lot. We don't need it for this, but it gives a nice, smooth, clean look. Next in advance, where it says order of walls. Okay, it says inner/outer. Click on that. Inner/outer, order of walls.
Right here.
Yeah, right there. I prefer inner wall, outer wall, inner wall. That's just a preference for me. All right. And notice how it turned orange now that you made some changes. That's indicating that you've made some changes where see strength, speed, support, and others is all the same. So let's click on strength now. Scroll all the way to the top. Wall loops. Now that's the outer walls and how thick they're going to be. So for this, I prefer 3. So let's change wall loops to 3. Okay. Now for sparse infill density. First thing you always do is change it off of grid. Go to gyroid. There you go. And sparse infill density. 15 is pretty standard in most programs will put you at. I have found with my printer or with this printer, we can run at 9 to 10%. Okay, so lowering this will actually help speed up time. So 10's good. All right, let's go to speed.
Up here.
Yep.
Okay.
Scroll to the top.
That is not top. That is bottom.
All right. So we have initial layer speed. So your first layer is all important. You want to make sure it sticks to the bed. You're going to go a little bit slow. That's why that's set at 50 and 105. All right. If we move down to other layer speeds, 200, 300, 50%, 270, 250, 200, blah, 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 blah. Those are good to just keep as standard. Okay. Now let's go to support.
Right up here.
Yes. We do not have support enabled. Not all prints are going to need support. If we take a look at this dragon head, I had to print this with supports, right? There's overhangs and stuff that just couldn't be printed because we're, it's up here and you can't just print this tooth like that in the middle. It needs something to sit on top of. So we had to use supports for it to print on top of. Looking at this file, the only hesitation I would have is that circle, but I think we're going to be okay with no supports on this. All right. But if we wanted to do supports, you would check that box. And when we rendered or sliced this, it would generate supports for us. So let's look at the types of supports that you can do. Scroll. Yeah, there you go. You have tree and normal. Normal and you have tree and normal, auto and manual. Auto means the software is going to do it all for you. You don't have to think about anything.
Yay! That's how I like it.
You should like to think.
I know I like thinking, but sometimes I don't.
I know, but there are some models where you are going to want to do your own supports. But that is not this one. So we can click off, but tree gives you these, starts off with circles and they're very organic. They're great for organic, like
the dragon head.
The dragon head. The normal is more like square boxes and it just builds up. And then you have a bunch of other settings here for the advanced support settings. The ones I change are the top Z distance. What I found works here is change that to 0.16. Change the bottom Z difference to the same. And then scroll up. That's good. Scroll back down. Sorry, I'm going all over the place. I normally have these saved in my settings, so it's been a while since I've had to go through and change them all. Support walls, support wall loops, I always put at 2. Yep.
Right there.
Put that at 2. And I think that is the only changes I make to supports when we're using them. But if we scroll up, we're going to try to print this without support, so we can unenable. Now let's go to others. All right, bed adhesion. This brim is the main thing you'll want to worry about with bed adhesion. Now, brim on a flat object is going to print right around the outside of the object. And what that's going to do is help keep like corners flat on a surface so they don't peel up on the sides. So brim helps keep that heat in and keep the print flat. We can use a brim for this one. I don't think we need it, but let's go ahead and use it. So under brim type, change it from auto to outer brim only. Brim width, I run that anywhere between 2 and 3 millimeters. You can pick 2 or 3.
It's 2.5. I don't know.
2. All right. And for the brim object gap, I run that at 0.18. Now, prime tower. We're not going to be using it. It's okay to keep it enabled, but a prime tower is when you're doing a multicolor print and it's between changing out the colors on the AMS. It'll print a tower and it'll print in there before it starts printing on your print to make sure all the previous color is out and make sure it's flowing properly. And then you can, of course, change the width and print volume, and that's just how big or small you want your print tower. Flush options. Now, this is a good way to also cut down on time and poop. She still laughs at poop. She's still a kid. Poop is when you're changing filaments and it poops out the back to get rid of the previous color it was using. you can, what it means by flush into objects infill. So instead of wasting so much just out the back, it uses that in the infill where you're not going to see it.
Huh.
So it's a great way to reduce time and poop. Yeah, it's not going to matter on this. We're only doing a single color.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Too late now.
All right. And we have special mode and advanced. There's really nothing else right now that we need to touch. We've gone a lot deeper than I thought we would on some settings, but we're not going to get into any of those.
This is for you fancy people.
But now we need to do the slicing. Do that. Head over onto preview. It's right to the right of prepare up at the top. Yeah, preview, and it automatically starts slicing. Now here, let's say it's sliced out and that hole had an issue where it's like, ooh, that's going to be really hard to print. It'll give you a warning and it may tell you to enable supports. That's the nice thing about a lot of slicers nowadays. They'll give you those kind of warnings. But here it looks like we're good. As you can see, all the different type of line types. It tells you how long it's going to spend on each one of those type of line. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Line types. And we can see model print time, 34 minutes.
Where do we see that at?
Down at the bottom.
Right here.
Total time is 40, but total print time.
Right here.
Yes. And we have 6 minutes and 29 seconds of prepare time. Now there are a couple different ways we can go about sending this to the printer. All right, in the upper right hand corner where it says here. Don't click on that yet.
I will not.
Go to the left down the arrow. We have print plate, print all, send all, export plate, slice files, and export all slice files. We are going to do send, but let's talk about these other ones. We could hit print plate and it just go and it'll start doing its thing. Send, we're going to send it to the machine, and then we have to go over to the machine and physically go print now.
Got it.
All right. Or we can export. We can go and export it, save it to the SD card, and then put the SD card, we'd have to have the SD card, put it into our computer, go over there, put it in the machine, and just like send, go over and physically start it. The nice thing is we can just hit send. So click on send. Now you have to click on send again. And send. All right. While that's sending, let's go get the printer prepped. All right. Now, one of the cool things we can do that I wasn't able to do with my first 3D printers, we can go over to device.
Turn the mouse back on.
Right. And so here we can control our printer as well. We could have heated up the bed and everything. That little green circle right here. Hit play. And we can see inside the printer.
Nice.
So we could have our printer in the garage or in your room or in your playroom.
In my room. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But we could have it wherever we wanted and view it. Now, here is something that is not good. If we look over at the AMS, it says 4 down there. That means we got a high humidity level. That means I'm going to change out the desiccant bag. So I know what I am, well, not desiccant bags. I forgot. I did the desiccant holders in there. So that's that orange stuff. Luckily, I got the rechargeable one. So I know what I'm doing tomorrow. Recharging that and fixing the light on my AMS riser. Yay. Fun day.
Fun. Yay.
No printing, but hey, maintenance is an important part of having a 3D printer. We should be okay with this. Filament can be hydroscopic. Don't take me 100% if that word's right or not.
Hydroscopic.
Hydroscopic. That means absorbing water. We don't want our filament to absorb water. That's why we have dryers and all of that. PLA is not as bad as, say, PETG or some of the other more exotic filaments out there. But still, we want to try to keep that as low as possible. It just helps take out any variables that might affect our printing. All right. So basically right now we just need to sit here and wait for the first layer to start. Remember, 7th grade project
It's a mini guillotine.
for writing. But you know what? That gives me an idea. Do a bigger one.
We should.
That's going to take a little bit longer, and that would be a different video. So, do you feel comfortable 3D printing stuff now?
Yes.
Do you think you could do it all on your own without my help?
Possibly.
You're supposed to say yes.
I mean, yes, teacher. I am a great, that is a great teacher.
You're a great teacher. That's what you were going to say.
I'm going to say I'm a great teacher.
So what's your favorite thing about 3D printing?
Watching it.
I can see that. One of my favorite things about CNC was sitting there watching take away everything. You know, I know 3D printing is additive. CNC is subtractive. So I have found myself just sitting there staring at CNC go and taking stuff away.
Quite entertaining.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much. And I hope you learned something that you'll remember tomorrow.
Let's see if I do.
And I'm sure you will, because you're going to get a lot of practice in engineering and robotics club. And you got anything to say to everyone?
Don't chop off your fingers.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, remember, keep making stuff.
What he said.